This time on Dream Builders, from the antique brick on the outside to the Italian race car on display inside, a Pennsylvania home builder creates a sleek residence for himself. What happens when a custom home builder builds his own home? Well, nothing is left out, no detail overlooked. Hi, I'm Scott Morgan. Welcome to Dream Builders. From its handsome brick facade to slate-gabled roof, the owner of this home in Pennsylvania managed every aspect of its creation. Today we'll see why he calls it a labor of love. Later in the show, homes built the old-fashioned way and additions that not only enlarge, they enhance. But we begin here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, with a home you just got to see to appreciate. Myron Haight is in the business of designing and building custom homes in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Yet he agonized over building his own home until a photograph in a design magazine caught his eye.
I ripped the picture out of the magazine and just kind of kept it there, and every once in a while looked at it. And when I felt it was the right time to build my final home, I just took it, played with it, cut it apart, stretched it, and from that came this home, at least the exterior. The right time came 12 years later. But for Myron, the real challenge lay behind the French traditional facade. Not knowing what the interior of that little picture that the house started with, I had no clue what the interior looked like, so it really was a situation of just sitting down and starting to pen the house from the beginning. With the help of many family employees, including his son Brandon, construction began on Myron's 18,000 square foot labor of love. During the course of construction, I kept thinking to myself, if I could make an empty room look like a jewel, imagine what it's going to be like when I'm done with it. The house was completed in just over 2 years, and Myron's passion for fine wood detail is evident throughout. Not overdone, but just tastefully done to the point that each room has different moldings, different crown moldings, just a whole different character. The raised paneled wood walls in the living room are topped with crown molding, carved with custom-made knives. In the dining room, the molding is softly illuminated by concealed rope lighting. Exceptional wood detail continues down to the floors, with red oak laid in a herringbone pattern. At the center of the home, a stone waterfall is surrounded by a soaring glass-walled atrium. A magnificent stairway connects the home's 3 levels. That 3-story atrium kind of turned out to be an afterthought because I needed a way to get that waterfall to be substantial, and I wanted to hear the water throughout the entire home. The staircase is composed of more than 1,000 balusters, all supporting an elegant rail, hand-carved in an oval shape to best fit the contour of a person's hand. The bottom of the stairway leads to a serene indoor pool. The walls of the room are cement board covered with a thin veneer of masonry to eliminate moisture absorption. Despite 20,000 gallons of indoor water, there's no feeling of dampness, and the windows are free of condensation. I had a system designed that worked perfectly in that room to be able to not just take the moisture out, but the moisture that was taken out of the room is actually recirculated back into the pool as a constant water feed. Down the hall from the pool is a recording studio where Myron writes, plays, and records his own music. A layer of carpet installed over sound-deadening board creates the room's ideal acoustics. In his spare time, Myron races cars, a fact that might explain the unusual display in his lower-level great room. This rare 1987 Lamborghini is one of Myron's favorite treasures. I've always loved that car. It was just something that I've admired for years. So when in my mindset, I decided to look at it as a piece of artwork. Myron's automotive work of art is on permanent display because the room's exterior brick wall and windows were installed after the car was moved in. In this home, even the dog gets his own space. The Italian Greyhound Molnar has a room where he eats, sleeps, even uses the bathroom. In the corner is a bluestone toilet with a faucet for rinsing it clean. After getting the criticism and the laughs of just about everyone that I told I was going to do this, now that they know it works, I think the laugh's on them. Myron's signature creativity extends outside the home as well.
with brick that looks as though it's been standing in the French countryside for a century. Myron, how'd you get the look of the white brick?
The brick was delivered with just a little bit too much red in it, and to get it whiter, we actually painted the brick.
No mortar?
No mortar. It was actually a masonry paint.
Huh. And you did the whole house?
We did 140,000 brick.
Unbelievable. The home's timeless design is finished with a 22,000 square foot slate roof. Each shingle is painstakingly split, cut, and punched by hand.
It's got a lot of bizarre hips in it. It's not just a standard gable roof. Very difficult to work on because there's not actually one section of the roof you could walk on like a typical house. You can kind of walk up the roof. This one you couldn't. They had to use a lot of chicken ladders. You have to be very careful because any kind of misplaced weight and you can crack them very, very easily.
For Myron Haight, a single photograph launched 1,000 ideas, which culminated in the home of his dreams. He's lived in 10 homes that he designed and built, but this one, he says, is the one he'll keep.
When I come into my home, I still smile. When I walk into some rooms, I still smile, and even though I've only been here not quite a year, I know it's going to be like that in 15, 20 years. It's just, there's a happiness here.
From rustic homes to a French chateau, building often starts with an idea, but then it's up to you to spin it into a dream home. We'll show you more next time on Dream Builders. From Allentown, Pennsylvania, I'm Scott Morgan. So long.